let's talk about business now, especially small businesses and their funding. We know they're supposed to be focused. They're supposed to be the focus of microfinance banks. But let's see, perhaps how well that has been going with the managing director, chief executive officer of Charis Microfinance Bank Limited, Mr. Obiora Onigwe. Mr. Onigwe, good afternoon. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Lenny. How are you doing?
I'm good. You're welcome. So, the issue of small businesses and microfinance, sometimes it does seem, I wonder how effective that relationship is, because microfinance have a lot of charges, and the small businesses do not have the strength to do that, and yet the microfinance banks are supposed to be taking care of the small businesses. Of course, I know microfinance has to work under the regulation of the central bank, so there's a limit to what you can do, and yet you are saddled with the responsibility of focusing on small businesses. How do you balance that?
Okay, yeah. So let's not look at the charges as the reason, okay? Let's look at the service we provide. We are the first step banking to the underbanked. We are trying to make sure they get into the banking system. So we provide them with facilities, mostly on a daily basis, so that they can do their work, they can produce as they can. We also provide them facilities that are not necessarily collateralized in terms of property, because you see, these people are the underbanked, so they don't have those tangible collaterals. So we use all forms of collaterals to be able to get the relationship from one end to the other. So we provide those finances.
Like what collateral? That?
Oh, for example, we could use card papers. We could also use guarantors. We could use, and guarantors could be of any kind. We could use post-dated checks. This form of collaterals will not be accepted in regular commercial banking. But with us, because we are very close to these customers. They just live down a shop, or they're in marketplace, they're in clusters, they spend some time there. Or you just have some vulcanizer down that wants to change his equipment. And so you provide that service for him.
But that exposes you to another form of risk.
Yes. So that's why the pricing comes with it. So with those kind of risk, we are well equipped to manage them, because they will create a savings first before we give them the bond. So we teach them to save very, very well.
So I don't know if it's safe to say that we've seen our interest rate peak. I don't know if it's safe to say that. But how do you manage an environment of high interest rates, high inflation, and you're just there taking care of the small guys?
Okay, this is it. You have to understand that this is the island. The island is big. You're seeing the tip, the peak. The market is on. We're trying to drain it out. So there are much more customers down.
Yeah. But their financial strength could almost not be as much as what you have at the tip.
Yeah, but you see, that's how it is. Banking is a business of numbers. The more numbers come into the net, the better we are. So we need to drain this one and get those that are not in the banking system into the system, so that there'll be plenty numbers. That's why, if you see the numbers of microfinance, that's why you use fintech, you use digital instruments or apps and co to get them into the banking system, so that they can access those kind of funds.
So how much impact would you say microfinance is doing in the line of financial inclusion?
Fantastic, very, very well. Because you see, we can relate to our customers far more than commercial bankers. We are very close to our customers. If you look at the adoption rates, it's quite high. I wouldn't mention some names.
But the fintech seems to be doing more effective than the microfinance banks.
Well, because they are the newcomers, but we too have been there pushing the market, and we're also adapting those ways that they do things, to getting those digital instruments to be able to reach the customer, let your customer know that microfinance banks too are open. You can send money, you can receive money, you can do anything you want to do. They're just like the next bank, all that they're just lower capitalized. That's it.
So how was all we had the Minister of Budget there talking about the harsh reforms or the harsh impacts of the economic reforms. How has that over time in the last 2, 3 years that we started this journey? How has that affected your business as a microfinance bank?
It has, like every other sector of the economy, but that makes us adapt to changes. It also makes the customer adapt. We can't say because the economy is difficult, we're going to fold our arms. That's why we're managers, and that's why we were trained and we build our skills up. So we have adapted our procedures, adapted our customers too have adapted to the current changes, and you can see that there's a ray of fresh, a ray of light coming out now. The Naira gained some weeks back, although it gained some. Fuel prices are coming down, inflation is hitting below. So we expect the future to be better than it is now, or we have seen in the last 3 years, and that's what we're placing our bets on.
What about your regulator? How much empowerment did they give you to be able to take care of the small businesses?
The regulators have been fantastic. They really.
You're not saying that because they might be watching and might come for you.
I don't need to praise them. Where they don't do their work, we need to call them out. But I will tell you the truth. The regulator has been fantastic. The current CBN has stabilized the economy of the whole, stabilized Naira, paid all those outstandings. You could see it reflected in the Naira price. They've worked really hard to put the CBN where it's expected to be. So the regulators have been great in what they have done. We just expect them to continue to do it, not take their foot off the pedal, because it's a continuous process. It's continuous. It's never going to stop.
Yeah, but consumers have been complaining, especially at the latest, the ATM fees, because the clients or the customers would not say they've been that fantastic.
Well, they're paying it elsewhere.
And we have a lot of charges these days on banks.
But they pay
so much.
They pay those charges elsewhere. And if you look at the total charges, they're cheaper.
What do you mean they pay those charges?
Well, when you have all those money people on the road, those bank charges are cheaper. And the monies in the ATM are better than those. So the long and short, we should do away with Naira. We should use cash to the barest minimum in Nigeria. I'm a proponent of...
Yeah, we should. But the charges do not encourage you. You use your ATM and you get like 2 or 3 charges on one transaction. Money is sent to your account, you're being debited. You send money to an account, you're being debited. So where's the encouragement for us to do electronic transactions?
Before, you would have had to go to a bank to do that, but you do that at your convenience, maybe even at 1 a.m.
And pay for it. With money I would have used to do something else.
It's convenient fee. You want to do a transfer at 1 a.m., you are free to do it. We didn't have this 20 years ago or 25 years ago. You had to wake up at 8 o'clock to go and do your transfer in the bank. But now you can wake up anytime. So it's improvement. And it's a charge, but it's improvement. The banks have put infrastructure in place for this. So they need to recoup those charges, those costs. But I can tell you, as we keep on going, it will keep coming down. More people enter the banking system. The charges will drop, definitely, and we'll have a better life.
Okay, we look forward to those days when the charges will drop. But please tell me, as an insider, in recent time, last week, about 2 major banks. I know you're in microfinance, but I want to take advantage of the fact that you're in the banking sector. About two major banks that I know, they just suddenly couldn't be accessed on the app, and things like that. What happens in situations like that? What's going on at the background?
Well, I don't know those. You did mention that. I don't mention, but it could be a lot of things. Most times, maybe even a third-party provider is not up due to some logistic issues. I don't know. But it would be nice to know the situation so I can speak to it.
I think that was a tricky answer. Do we see recap in the way of coming the way of microfinance?
Oh, we just concluded one. So maybe. But we just concluded one. Yeah. So I don't see anyone in the nearest future. But hey, who knows? The regulars might do it.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. Chief Executive Officer of Charles Microfinance Bank Limited, Mr. Obiora Unigwe.
Thank you. Thank you, Ine.